The RealIT team, composed of Vincent, Mehdi, and I, Marie-Christine, are here to present you our solution to ensure your growth and be as successful as other initiatives like the Green Freight Earth. But first, we want you to know that what we propose is much more than a simple IT solution. It is a global strategic solution. We want to motivate, reach new members with our marketing plan, evaluate, collect the data, and provide meaningful reports, and improve. Provide information and the tools necessary for your members to improve their practices and reduce the CO2 emission. Here is the order of the day, and we will start with the analysis.
So, regarding the, so to sum up our extended analysis, the key takeaway is to understand that this transport industry is quite fragmented and diversified. So the message that you have to send has to be really clear and inclusive of all the members. The solution that we propose has to be an IT solution and infrastructure with a strategic input, and it has to be financially sustainable. So we start directly with the recommendation.
So what we propose is not only an integrated database, but it is an integrated array of different applications that will interact together in order to create value for your stakeholders. So if you look here at the left, we first start with an online form for new members to sign in and enter GFA. We also have an automatic calculating application that will select the number of leaves associated with each new member. We also have a what-if analysis application, which will allow customers to do A/B testing and better manage their fleet of their fleet. After that, we'll also have a data virtualization tool. Basically, two tools. We'll have a penetration mapping heat map, as well as a CO2 emission reduction tool. Finally, what really makes our solution stand apart are the next several applications, which is the GPS data. That means that we'll provide GPS chips to put in the trucks of our members, and that will collect data that will be able to be analyzed in order to get the distance travel, the way the driver did the driver drive in an ecologic manner. After that, we also have a linked e-learning software that will be linked to our database, and that will provide ecologic driving instructions. And finally, we also have a validation application that will validate if the information is correct or not. Let's look at the different aspects in more details.
The information exchange is a list of members. So companies can use different filters to find possible partners. And the partners will be listed after using the filters, will be listed in order of how many leaves they have. If we take, for example, Mr. Chong, who is Mr. Wong, who is a small business owner and he has several trucks. If he has more leaves, he will have more visibility. So this will encourage him. Now, for the e-learning, we thought that some drivers cannot afford or do not have the time for driver training. So we could have an online course certification. We also thought that online forum would be useful because they could develop the best practice and also have summary of the physical meetings that you have. We want to introduce what-if functionality, which is A/B testing. The members will be able to see the adoption of the new practice, the impact on the cost versus the investment. So Mr. Wong can put several input, and then he will know the cost related to idling, for example. Now we will go over the questionnaire.
The questionnaire is basically the same questionnaire that you have, but in a more user-friendly way. So this is in different languages and in different platforms. We also recommend to use this penetration rate map so that you can see exactly how your program is received by the agents of countries. This is also something that can be useful to your members, so can they see impact that they have on the environment, but also their savings related to energy savings. And let's move on to the implementation.
So here we have a very detailed implementation plan. But let's go to the different key aspects. So first of all, we know you have a meeting in the week. So what we'll do is we'll have the online form ready for you in a week so that you will be able to show your members and to encourage them to encourage new members to join. You'll have already a tool that you will be able to show everybody. Within 3 months, the application will be functional. The basic functionality will be available to everyone, and it will also be available in several languages. We've identified key countries that we'll be focusing on, so these languages will be done first. The full application will be launched within 7 months, and all the language will be implemented at the time of the launch as well. We also have an extensive marketing campaign, and we'll go into details of that.
So how wonderful our solution is, but it has to be accepted by the members. So the first thing we have to do is to make it affordable for the members. So what we recommend is that you ask for the members to repay you as a percentage of their savings. That way it's economic for them, but as well for you. We also recommend to use some government subsidies. For example, China gave huge incentives to buy electric cars 2 years ago. And use the microfinancing structure existing in developing countries is also a good way to reach the users. But also, how can the users, even if interested, have an impact if they don't know what is available here? That is why you have to raise your awareness by using social media platforms to reach them in a more efficient way. And finally, there's different stakeholders with different goals and different perspectives, but they all have to work in the same direction. So we propose some forums, seminars to let them understand what is important for each stakeholders. This is a huge change for a lot of members or users. So what we recommend is first build a necessity. Lobby the governments so that they can put some new quality standards. Then communicate your plan, so the members actually know how to implement those changes. And finally, keep the momentum, because once it's implemented, it doesn't mean that it will last, but by providing a value in the dashboard and in different training plans that are free for the members, that is going to bring some value. Regarding the business case, our solutions cost is around $200,000, and the benefits are of $350,000 in different aspects. But the biggest part here, I just want to insist on it, is to the savings payback with a really conservative percentage. The financial takeaways, the CEO saved after the first year is of 6,600 kilograms. The return on investment is going to be under 7 months, and the members are going to be at least 200, targeting first the big members, then the smaller part. Let's move on to the risk section.
Now, there is one risk that we choose that we wanted to discuss. We need to ensure that the data is valid to preserve your integrity and the accuracy. So what we did is look at the benchmark of Green Freight Europe. And currently their data validation is working. So we thought that most of our mitigation would be in the same way. So first, the members need to sign the declaration that all data they give is accurate, and that they will provide any documentation if we ask them. There will be automatic checks, of course, in the online questionnaire to ensure that the data is correctly, has the correct length, the correct type, etc. This is quite simple to program. But what is more difficult is the auditing. And what we will do is random sample checks. And these checks will be done, some of them will be only documentation checks, and others will be physical checks, and it will be done for a percentage of total members. And the contingency plan, if a member does not provide the right information, is possible exclusion of GFA. So in conclusion, we think our solution really motivates and reach new members, evaluate correctly with the data, and improve the practice of all members. our data as a central database, but includes many different functionalities. Thank you for your time, and do you have any questions?
One question about your cost. You mentioned 200K. Is that development cost?
Actually, it's extensive cost, so it's development, testing, and training. Well, training was really a smaller part.
What do you mean by training?
Oh, sorry. Let me see. Q&A. Can't really see it. But I can see the mouse there.
Talk and I'll try.
Oh, yeah. Basically, the cost, there's development, there's training, there's implementation, separated in the different aspects of the solution.
Right.
So we did some benchmarking to find these numbers. Since the applications developed are quite simple, this is why we think this is going to be a channel cost we forecast for our solution.
What about operational costs? I mean, if you're going to have like multiple languages, multiple geographical locations, and you need to support your users, and then not to mention all the other audits and stuff like that, how are you going to sustain that?
The specific part of the language is going to be outsourced. So we benchmark to see what kind of amounts we expect, and we double this amount in case it's not considered enough. For other operational tasks, the cost is actually involved in this forecasting.
In your overview slides, right? I think I saw you proposed some kind of a GPS tracking, right? Who funds the installation of the receivers in each of these trucks?
There are two types of GPS units that we propose. The first type is very simple. It's basic GPS only. It is actually very cheap. We found that using Arduino boards and a GPS shield on it, it could be achieved for around $25, $30 max a piece. It will be funded via
there's microfinance structures like Grameen Bank. We can fund, since it's really cheap to buy, it's $25. It can be found through microfinancing structures through partnerships.
So basically, the truckers themselves will have to buy their own.
It will be paid back as a percentage basis. For example, if a basis of their savings. So it's not a very high amount, so it wouldn't be that long to pay back.
So the GPS is a critical component of your solution, or is it just an optional component?
It is quite critical in what we think, because it will facilitate the validation of data. Because to have two leaves, you have to provide your total distance traveled. So GPS will already do that. GPS we're also able to track the speed of the driver, the way he accelerates, decelerates. This gives us a rough score of how ecologically he drives. So that can be integrated as well in the leaf certification.
So if let's say I'm a trucker, I'm only interested in just getting one leaf, right? Do I need the GPS to be installed?
No, it's not obligatory for truckers to have it, but it makes it easier to get two leaves and then three leaves, etc.
Thank you.
So just question on the timeline from me. I realize that you have got lots of plans and within the timeline, and I think you mentioned something like 7 months.
Yeah.
That sounds quite short to me. So maybe how do you actually plan to squeeze so much into 7 months? Because you have got things like what analysis, lead calculator, the information exchange, and then you also want to do e-learning. So
yeah. Well, actually, we would do most of the work as your consultants. We all have a background in programming. We could do as well. We're planning on adding on new people to form a partnership with you guys. So the way we do it is basically a cascade approach. We start with the most important stuff so that it will be operational in 3 months, and then we can do all that is add-ons. Most of the applications that we're planning are, we think, pretty simple to do. So we believe that it is possible to do it in 7 months, and we even have an additional 1 month buffer to reach your goal by 2050.
Thank you.